Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another spooktacular episode of That's Not Normal, It's Paranormal. Big T here, as always, here with Buddy Donnie, aka Dante. Uh, we have a fun little episode for everybody today, don't we?
Oh yeah, we got pistachios. We got. Oh wait, no, you mean a podcast?
Sure do you.
Hey, listen, I found out the other day. I've never really ate pistachios. They creep me out. Pistachios ice cream is nasty. And I was at work and someone had pistachios, and I'm like, of course, I probably like pistachios. I started eating them. I am addicted now.
Really. Only
Love
thing I like with
pistachios.
pistachio is I like pistachio pudding mixed with Cool Whip when we make a pistachio holiday pudding cake. I don't know, some kind of contraption that the family's ate since I was a kid.
That sounds awful though. Like I pistachio flavored things, I feel like I thought it's like bananas. I love bananas. I hate banana flavored things.
Bro, the best banana flavored thing, and if you don't like this, I don't know if we can still be friends. Banana pudding is by far the ultimate S tier pudding of all time.
Only if it has vanilla wafers in it.
Yes or no? I will take it either way. Best pudding, S tier. Uh, anyways, this isn't some kind of episode on the Food Network or anything here. But you want to go ahead and tell the people what we're talking about today? Special little thing that we did.
We're going to start off today. This episode's a little more, bit of like a hodgepodge of like topics. We're trying new stuff. Like we're going to throw in some paranormal news, supernatural news, however you want to say it. But we're also going to talk about we went to a convention this weekend, our first one, at least together.
Oh, yeah, together. And for those of you who know us, this is basically just me and Donnie bullshitting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but we did go to the Veggie Man Day event up in your neck of the woods. The I guess probably pretty close to the location the epic story went down. So what we're thinking about doing here is, Don, would you like to rehash a little bit of information about the Veggie Man for any new listeners we may have?
So, if you don't know who the Veggie Man is, he
You're
is a
missing out.
you are absolutely missing out. It's my next tattoo. Uh, love the Veggie Man. We actually did an episode on it further back. Um, if you listen to it and think that we suck at it, we probably did because it was probably like episode 2 or 3 or something. We didn't get much better, but so pretty much to sum up, like Veggie Man, there's this. I don't think what the guy's name was. Let me see here. Jennings Frederick, and he was just fishing, hanging out, and all of a sudden, like he heard like some noises, and like I said, this is just me summing it up. Like I said, if the other episode we go into it like deeper, but he hears like this communication where it's like, "Do not fear me. I wish to communicate. I come as friends. We know of you all. I come in peace. I wish medical assistance. I need your help." So the guy, he's like, "What?" So he goes to like wipe like sweat off his head, and he thought his hands became entangled into like some kind of briar bush. Nah. Here he noticed that there was like a weird greenish hand that looked like a plant, and it was 3 fingers that were 7 inches long dug into him, and they had like suction cups, and it punctured a blood vessel, and he knew blood was being drawn from him. Well, when he turned to see like what was doing it, there was like a semi-human veggie thing with like yellow eyes and had pointed ears, and it looked like a I don't know, like a stalk, like I don't know, corn stalk, I guess, kind of. Is that how you would
Yeah, like a
describe
corn
that?
stalk, uh, bean stalk. Yeah, the whole good old, you know, fancy tale. Beanstalk. Uh,
It was like if the Jolly Green Giant was anorexic and nah, I guess that's probably not a good one, but it kind of looked like him. It was green, like features was very like grass like and so but he was crying like that Jennings was crying like because I mean there's like needles inside of his arm piercing him drawing blood and the creature's eyes turned from yellow to red and they like were spinning orange circles and like they were like trying to hypnotize him it looked like and all of a sudden like he like just the guy was just frozen he didn't know what he was looking at and he still wasn't sure but suddenly like the creature released him and just ran away supposedly he jumped 25 feet and just disappeared
he did his best Michael Jordan impression.
pretty much and he just like was hurt came sucked this guy's blood apparently healed himself and took the fuck off but that's a veggie man
Bet you he'd dunk on you, Donnie.
I could block his stuff man I'm telling you now I'd be Matumbo no 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 not today
Well, yeah, so we went to this Veggie Man Day event that they had up in your neck of the woods of Fairmont, West Virginia. Uh, I don't know if anybody who listens to this may be familiar, but it was actually on the campus of Fairmont State University. I don't remember exactly the name of the building, but you know what? First impressions, besides having the loudest set of steps I've ever heard in my life, uh, pretty nice building. Uh, I was happy to see a overall interest in what I thought was kind of more of a when you think of cryptids, Veggie Man's not the first thing that comes to mind. I mean, you hear
But
about Bigfoot. I mean, you hear about Wolfman and around here, Flatwoods Monster, Mothman, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of more of a small, kind of local thing. Very interesting, and I know you love it and you're all about it. But I was really glad to see the turnout of people who have similar interests as you and I do.
yeah, and the podcast that helped put it together, Moth Boys podcast, they did a great job. There was all kinds of vendors, there was bands, there were speakers. If they do it again next year, hopefully like even though the building was super nice, I feel like the turnout was so big for what they had laid out.
Yeah,
Like
that was my only complaint because for anybody who may be interested in going in the future and things could change, I do hope that uh, I hope it becomes a regular thing. Uh, it's very nice to have events and stuff like that, but hopefully they'll maybe pick a little bit of a place that's a little bit bigger. Uh, like I said, there was a great turnout of people, lots of people, but the area was a little bit small. That's really my only complaint that I had. There was lots of vendors. Uh, and if you're somebody who likes art or likes collecting things of paranormal, mainly cryptid themed stuff, we've seen all kinds of cool posters and art and stickers and other collectibles.
yeah, there was all kinds of stuff. I mean, if I had more money, I would have bought like all kinds of stuff.
I feel that.
And it was
Uh,
funny. The so they had a spot set out for bands, which our good boy Captain Catfish was there. Who also shout out for thanks for letting us use your music. They he played and like but like the very first band there, they were good, but it straight up sounded like we were at like a classical, like fancy should be eating hors d'oeuvres, like like
bro, let's just call it how it was. It was sounded like an event that was too rich for our blood.
yeah. And the place even looked like that. Like it like how the floor was like this wooden, super shiny. Like yeah, we should have wore tuxedos is what it felt like when we first got there.
Oh yeah, but it's real nice. A few of the people that we spoke to were nice. Some of the vendors and stuff like that. Uh, I did see they also had a vendor, so that I thought was interesting because, hey man, if you have an old lady and your old lady likes candles, or you have an old man that likes candles, however, each whatever. Uh, I did see there was a lady up there that had cryptid themed, like homemade candles, which was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a wax melt fan. Like I will go to the wax melts, smell them, and like I mean, I should turn my wax melt on now.
I don't know, man. I am a fan of candles. Something not really ominous, but I like the vibe it gives off. Just a little glow, nice smell, you know.
Yeah, it
Or
just
you could
sets.
use them for rituals or some patchouli or something, you know. But
I feel like it could go both ways. It could either A, be romantic, or B, end up in a terrifying occult film.
either way, he might be fucked.
Literally.
or or before you know it, because this still cracks me up. And I don't mean to go on an off track tangent, but it's like you do this thing online where you watch these horror films, right? And you'll share like a little, a little piece of your commentary for the movie that you watched.
Yeah.
Still, like the most hilarious to me was when you shared what was it, Amityville in space, and I'm just thinking of this giant fucking house in outer space for no fucking reason.
Oh,
Like,
there's a reason. You just have to watch that classic of a film.
bro,
Uh
it's just the whole philosophy of that film just seems like the most outlandish, ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I'm gonna be honest, there's not much space to it. Like it's like the house is floating and there's like a preacher stuck inside with the demon and a future space crew finds it and ends up on the house and like it's oh man. Go to Tubi if you have time. There's a rabbit hole of Amityville movies. Like you got the legit canon. Like none of them are not really any of them are good. I'm a stand on that. Even the original's not that good. But I went through watching like most of them. But I don't know. In the last like 3 4 years, this dude has been making like Amityville in space. Amityville house eats preacher. Like I don't know, like it's just the
You know
most
what else comes?
obnoxious ones.
You know what else comes to my mind though? It just reminds me of that, like that old school, like Amityville in space, space with the echo. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that old
It
school narrative.
okay. If I'm this is off topic too, but listen, I've never, even though I've watched all those films, no movie has made me more mad than the Fog remake. No movie. I've absolutely deemed the Fog remake, the original Fog, masterpiece, love it. Love John Carpenter, great movie, underrated. The new one, I I legitimately have never hated a film as much as the Fog remake. Like, watch the
Yeah, it
Fog.
gets a little wonky because they added like it seemed like a bunch of backstory and stuff, if I recall. I had seen it, but it'd been a long time ago. Because they make it a lot more about like a pirate story and a bunch of other bullshit.
Yeah, and oh, it's storming here, setting the mood.
Yeah,
It
we're
knows I'm
supposed to be
talking.
getting some severe storms.
It knows I'm talking shit about the fog.
Hey,
No,
maybe the
like
fog will roll up and just get like a knock at your door randomly.
I ain't gonna answer it. It's probably Sarah, to be honest. But I should probably answer it if it's her. But uh, no, like it. They added the main character, the character that is in the original, like that is just like hanging out with Tom Atkins. It's actually Jamie Lee Curtis in the original. They give her like this whole backstory of like 55 minutes of stupidity like that I do not need. And like, just not like I could rant about it forever. So I'm just saying the Fog remake, crash, it makes me angry. That's how I feel.
Oh, Donnie, we love your spills about movies. I just see you share the most random things, but some of
It's
them are real random.
it's a good thing I'm not on video or like you see me like throwing stuff across the room about talking about the Fog remake.
I think you should buy the DVD and we should shoot a video of you like getting up high on something and just giving it the old Macho Man elbow drop.
What's that guy that like elbows random stuff in the backyard? I'll be like him, like jumping off like a ladder, elbowing it.
Eh, Hey, anything for content, my friend. That'd be funny.
But oh yeah. So uh we have decided maybe next year, if they do it again, we might have our own booth next year. So if we do, you guys should come out to Veggie Man and chill with
Yeah, we
us.
definitely been talking and discussing that we might really try to get into going to some of these places more. Uh, Set up a table for anybody who might be local to the area that we're in or areas. Uh, Maybe we can meet some people and learn some new stories and uh, always come out and see us. And we are also working on trying to get some more merch for those of you inclined to want to, spend your hard-earned money on some it's not normal, it's paranormal gear. You
We
know,
got we
nothing
got
like
some stickers.
nothing like plastering our like cartoon faces or designs around the world.
Yeah, we got some shiny stickers now. So if anyone's interested, just hit us up. They're
Yeah.
free. They're free. So like, it's not we're not going to charge you. It's just a matter of getting it to you. So
Yeah, you don't have to sign up for no installment plan of like 4 easy payments of 19.99 like you see on infomercials.
you'll see me on QVC eventually. But Troy, since it's storming here, let's get spooky.
All right,
I got some paranormal news for you.
I'm right. Let's hear it. We need one of those breaking news sounds.
What would our TV station be called?
Uh,
PN and I don't know. I can't even do abbreviation of it. It's too long. But anyways,
NNPN.
however you want. I think NNPN.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NNPN.
yeah. Here at NNPN, breaking news. So this is actually in Morgantown, West Virginia. Dun dun dun. Um, this is pretty cool. I've actually heard of this like tombstone, but like I never like not until recently something crazy happened to it. Now this comes from the local site of WBOY and WDTV because I was comparing notes about them. The Morgantown Police Department is asking for information about a gravestone that was stolen from Oak Grove Cemetery. Now, the police department said that the gravestone marking Harry Spitz, who was born July 9th, 1909 and died September 8th, 1912, was recently stolen from the city's oldest cemetery, just days after what would have been his 115th birthday. Now you're asking, why is that you know, how is that a paranormal story? Well, we're getting to it. Although the child passed away in 1912, he became part of a paranormal legend in 1975 when a groundskeeper discovered a hole in the sod, allowing them to the broken lid of a concrete vault with Harry's casket and body out inside. The media outlets reported that experts removed the casket and body, attempting to find what caused the vault to be unearthed, but no answer was ever found. Vandalism, methane gas, Vandalism, methane, and gas from the decaying body and other possible causes for the vault to have been pushed up from the inside were ruled out in 1976. The 3 year old's well preserved body was reburied a few weeks later after scientists and beyond found no conclusion. The grave is still considered a phenomenon and its story have been told on a number of websites, podcast channels, and us. And some has even believed that there's the ghost of Harry Spitz is still around in the cemetery.
Huh.
But
I've
the
actually
miss,
not heard that story.
yeah, I hadn't really either. Um, but what happened was because I accidentally cut it off. Somebody stole the actual like tombstone, like the top of the tombstone to his grave now, and it's
Yeah, the
missing.
graveyard. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, I never
It's
heard of it
interesting.
either. Like I heard the name and I heard about the tombstone, but like I didn't really read much into it yet. Like I haven't got that far. So like
Yeah,
now,
like I know the graveyard, drove past it and stuff many times. Uh, yeah, I've not heard that story about the where there's like a hole. You said there's a hole in the sod, and you're able to like see down into it or whatnot.
yeah,
And
and the
what? Not
body
really.
and the body was like perfectly preserved too, which like they were like, well, why did this happen? So
Yeah, I mean that's really odd, especially the time period of everything.
all right, now Troy. Do. Uh this one no is from a different country called Mexico. So you're gonna like this one. This one's more of a ghost story for you. And I saw the
Nice.
photo, and maybe I'll post a photo. Photo's creepy as hell. Now this came from like coast to coast.
Hmm.
And so an eerie photo from inside the cab of a tractor trailer in Mexico shows a ghost woman sitting beside an unknown driver who was later stunned to discover he had a different passenger. The spooky photo came to light this week when it was shared online alongside a text exchange about an unsettling incident. According to the account, the image was captured in the early morning hours of March 31st as a big rig from, I can't even say this company's name, was en route to the city of Monterrey. The picture is said to have been taken by a company supervisor who used a cab camera to check in on his drivers during his shift. To the boss's surprise, the man appeared to have someone riding with him in the form of a woman, wearing old period clothing and sporting a unnerving face. When a supervisor contacted the driver to yell at him for breaking company policy by having an unauthorized passenger in the truck, his message was ignored as it was later explained that the driver thought he was joking. When the trucker eventually arrived at his destination, he was shown the picture of the creepy woman, whom he insisted was not with him during the drive. Given that the mysterious stranger's unusual clothing and many people online have suggested that the man may have somehow picked up a spirit during his travels that night. And the photo of
Nice.
the woman is creepy. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, but like her face, like she just like embodies that like late, or I won't say early 2000, late 90s look where the eyes are like black and the mouth is black.
Yeah.
So it's
You
like
have to share
pretty,
that. That'd be interesting. That's one of the
yeah,
things like in horror films, like since I started driving many moons ago, it's one of those things where it's like you get in the habit of kind of like checking your back seat before you get in the car because you watch too many horror films. Uh,
yes, I do that to this day.
but there's always that like creepy, like, I'm going to look in the rear view mirror and there's just going to be randomly somebody sitting in the back seat that's creepy as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very unsettling.
And
Definitely would like to see the photo though, because that'd be interesting.
cool fact is like I'm a firm believer that Mexico's super spiritual. Like, and
God damn it, Donnie. See what you did? You
gonna
just
make
had to
fun of the
go.
fog.
You just had to go make fun of the fog, and then the fog shut you down.
So
Apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but we had a little audio technical difficulties. I guess interns will say that was a oh, what is the term they use? Act of God,
well, I
making fun
had
of the
some
fog, and then all of a sudden you lose power in the storm.
Well, I had some in the fog, it's some lepers. So I had some lepers knocking on the door out there. Now you guys might not even noticed it, but in between me talking about Mexico being spiritual and now, I just like all my lights like flickered and then just went completely off. And so yeah, bring the set the mood right now. I need some candles to light up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it now, man. Talkers made fun of the fog.
Hey, listen, fuck that movie. I'm willing to tempt fate because I hate that movie.
You know, it'd
But
be hilarious. Not to get off topic before we get back in the topic, but like down the road at some point, whether it's a day, 2 days, 10 years, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. For like we get a random comment on this video, and some guy's just like, "Fuck you, man. That's like my favorite movie."
it's probably going to happen. I've come to I've like come to accept that like I like weird movies anyways. So like a lot of movies that I hate, other people's like, "Oh, this is a great movie." Like not to ruffle any feathers, but Babadook is a trash movie too. Movie's boring. Cool Monster, boring movie.
Yeah, I never actually seen that one.
It's a cool
Well,
concept. I love the concept, but the actual movie itself is boring.
well, I have to call you out a little bit here, Donnie. The reason though you are the way you are, we've talked about this before, is that you're a hipster. You can't like what mainstream people like.
Hey, I like
You'll love stuff, and then if it becomes mainstream, you're like, "I fucking hate it, man. It's like the
man,
worst thing ever." It's because
I
you're a
love
hipster, bud.
I love some Taylor Swift and John Cena, so but
So, one more thing before we get back on topic here. If for some reason, we're just going to make this canon now. If for some reason a lot of people like this podcast, we start going to conventions and stuff like that. If for some reason you think that we are worthy of having you ask us for an autograph, I want everybody who comes to go and purchase a DVD of the new Fog specifically for Donnie to autograph it.
I'm gonna tell you now, I would sign it, but I will talk trash about that movie the whole time I'm signing it. I'm gonna do
I It would be the funniest thing ever if we're ever deserving of somebody actually wanting our autograph, which would not be worth
never
anything
happened.
ever.
Never
Never probably
happened.
happen. But in my mind, it would just be hilarious to see like people wait to get your autograph and they're all just standing there holding DVDs of the remake of the Fog.
That's gonna be our next shirt concept is like some kind of spoof on the fog. Not even the cool fog, the crappy the mummy ripoff cover of the fog. Look up the
So,
mummy when he turns into the sand and he's trying to eat the plane, and then
yeah,
look
I
up
know.
the fog cover.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Stupid movie. Not the mummy. Mummy's great, but the fog trash. Okay. So,
So
anyways,
we were talking about the unexpected hitchhiker, basically, in Mexico. Uh, One thing I have to say about that. So, guy checked camera, check in on his drivers, seeing a lady in like early, like what did you say? It was early 1900s, like apparel.
yeah, some kind of old clothing.
Well, it could be one of two things. He could have picked up a ghost or a spirit. You know, maybe somebody died in a certain area and just drawn to him, or just wanted to hang out or whatever. Or maybe the guy had some kind of weird, like old timey clothes kink.
Could have been. We We really should do. I know, like we kind of we do a lot of like local or like stuff like that, and like occasionally we go over, do different country ghosts and like
Folklore
cryptids and
and such.
stuff. Yeah, we really should do some on Mexico because they got some cool ghost stories and cryptids and like creepy ones too because it's such like
Speaking of that, I was watching, I can't remember what fucking show it was. It's probably something on Sci-Fi or Discovery or something like that. But they had like, I can't remember her there's a Spanish name for it. It's like supposedly it's like some woman that haunts places because like I forget what happened. She either like her husband died or cheated on her or something like that, and she like drowned her kids. And
La
like
Llorona, La
yeah,
Llorona. Yeah,
yeah, something like
she
that.
drowns. She goes and takes kids and drowns them.
Yeah. I seen this video. It was like recorded in somewhere in Mexico. I'd have to see if I could find it again. But it was like the creepiest video because it was like all these people standing outside, and it sounds just like a woman just like screaming as loud as they could scream. Like everybody is confused. People called the police. The police showed up. There was like an empty, like a lot where a building used to be. And like people couldn't figure out where the screaming was. And then they like found a white dress that was just like randomly like in the dirt where this like old building was.
Yeah,
And like they talked to the guy who like filmed it. And it's like the creepiest thing because like it sounds like a human scream, but it's almost inhuman at the same time. And it's like creepy as fuck. But like the guy claims that like after the police they took the dress and like I guess the police just burned it because I guess they're even like people in the police and stuff there I guess are very I don't know if spiritual is the word for it, but they're very not skeptical, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So like they thought it was weird to find this like white dress, and then supposedly the police burned it, and then like after they burned the dress, like it just kind of quit. But it was like the creepiest thing because it was like from the guy's account of like recording it and everything like that, that like it was going on for like hours. Like there's all these people just like standing around. It's nighttime in like a part of the city, and it's just creepy as all get up.
Dude, we should definitely do an episode on La Llorona. That's how I'm saying it. I know I'm probably saying it wrong, but like, dude,
Sounds
she
right to
like
me, but we're just two pasty white boys. So
from West Virginia.
West by God, Virginia.
But the whole concept of her is creepy. Like she roams like bodies of water. Now this is like if I remember, I'm pretty sure I kind of so I went through a phase where I watched like a bunch of Llorona movies and then I looked into the actual story, but like it's been a hot minute. So what I remember is she like roams around like bodies of water and she mourns her children, but she's the one that drowned them in a jealous rage because her husband was unfaithful to her. So,
Yeah,
like, if you hear her crying, whoever hears her crying, like, will have like misfortune, death, um, like all kinds of bad luck, pretty much. Like, you're just going to have like the worst luck. And then, if I remember right, there's one where like it's not even that she's like a spirit. Like, she I for I wish I could remember my folklore better. But she is pretty much like supposedly a wanderer who just like is not dead, but she's not alive. So she just like is forever like just walking the earth looking for children and like, like drowning them and causing people mishap.
Yeah, she's kind of like a we talked about it before. I think it was one of the earliest episodes. But she's basically like a more well-known like whole country tale of basically a woman in white.
Yeah. And there's like different versions of her too. Like there's like depending on what part of Mexico, it affects how the story went and like I don't know, but it'd be a great episode.
Yeah, might be something to bring up. Speaking of episodes, we have discussed, I don't know if anybody out there has heard of it. Hopefully you have heard of it and interested in it. One of the upcoming episodes that we're going to do is going to be on the Bell Witch, which I find very intriguing. I've seen things about it, read some things about it, and it's a pretty wild story.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I ordered a couple books to read about it and which I need to get started on.
Yeah, so that's going to be a upcoming episode for those of you that tune in and are enjoying the podcast. Just a little bit of podcast information as we tell you every time we do this. If you have any comments, questions, stories, something you'd like to hear about, something you'd like us to look into, talk about on the podcast, or if you want to get a free sticker, uh, anything of the sort, you can always reach out to us at nnpnpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is nnpnpodcast@gmail.com. Uh, Me and Don are just doing our best to keep up with it. So if you have anything you'd like to comment on, and you also like and comment on our videos, so everything will be uploaded to YouTube now, as well as all the other platforms that we use. Podbean,
That,
where we started off of. A lot of people still listen there, and we appreciate it. Uh, I know Don's going to come in here and say everything but what Apple Podcast. They still hate us.
yeah, they still hate us. We're banned from Apple Podcasts. I mean, we're not banned, but like they just don't like us. But it sounds cooler if we say we're banned. So maybe we're edgy now and we're banned. Maybe that's what I'll start saying.
The
Unless
biggest edge lords in the podcasting community.
we're gonna be like early '90s black metal now. Also, we are gonna this year. I know like we talk a lot of like smack sometimes, but like we're gonna touch some like random topics too, just to broaden our horizon. Like it's gonna be good. Like we got a bunch of cool topics up, and we actually got like two interviews that we're gonna do, and just yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned. We're definitely going to be trying to put out what we can here, and I'm glad Don does a lot of our uploading, and he's found that I guess YouTube has made some things easier, and I know a lot of people use YouTube. So if you want to catch us on there, I do believe Don, you got everything uploaded. Like every podcast we've done is finally fully uploaded on there. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
So yeah, if you want to go over there, just follow us, give us likes if you want. If you feel we deserve it and you want to see more, definitely helps out. You can find us at That's Not Normal. It's Paranormal on YouTube, just like everywhere else.
So before we close this out, I have an alien story for us, Troy.
All righty, let's hear it.
Now, y'all know that yeah, I brought out the y'all. Uh we always try to
Y'all
end it
here
with
now.
y'all hear this? Y'all ready for this? Bam, 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 bam. Okay, I'm done. So we always try to end it with like a real UFO reporting that's reported to New Fork. And this one, I'm super excited. We brought you the juicy one last week. This one is super exciting to me. I'm over excited to tell you this one. And got to remember this is exactly how the person gave it to that new fork. So this is exactly how it's written, how
Let's
they
be honest.
send
That's
it
one of the
in.
best parts.
Yeah, I absolutely love like just the realism of this. It's not like proper. It's just like, shit, we saw something. So, all right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. The location is Hedgesville, West Virginia. The details, these UFOs have been seen, have, okay, so there's some bad grammar in this one. These UFOs have been see years on the ridge side and in woods lots. Footage and vid and photo have. Okay. The shape is a spear. This one might be a little hard to get through, but it's worth it. It is so worth it. The collar is white and orange. Estimated size softball to large vehicle. Direction from viewer right above treetops and in the woods. Um, estimated speed slow and fast. Characteristics. Now, this is where shit gets real. Lights on object, haze around object, emitted other objects, emitted beams, change color, landed electrical or magnetic effects, possible abduction, missing time, which if you know, that means you're getting abducted. Um, marks found on body afterwards. So, okay, here we go. We have had sightings nightly for 3 or 4 nights now, but this has occurred for years. There are so many close encounters we've had. These things in our home, I've had missing time, lost consciousness when being told with telepathy what window to find then out of. The spears grow in size, interact with us, and look so magical at times. Not sure why we've been chosen to be allowed to see this, but we feel blessed by being able to know the truth. Once I was fully paralyzed in my bed, and an entity was in my bedroom. I had a bloody, hollow hole in my belly from it the next day. These UFOs seem to be on an important mission on this ridge. I see them go in and out. We have seen a huge flying being watching us, and he/she allowed us to get clear photos and video of it flying into the woods. I wish someone would come get data off all these sightings. Ben missed to learn more about this amazing phenomenon and why we have been chosen to see this and interact with them. And there is a photo, and you could kind of see a face, but it also looks like sperm. So, but
Johnny, can I be honest for a minute?
what?
Only thing that story is missing is Rolo doing his typical "Mama help."
Especially if they're putting holes in you, like even if they're on an important mission, get out of my holes. Like, but
I love the internet.
if if you or anyone has had occurrences like this, please get a hold of us. I would like to talk with anybody that's supposedly been abducted. Like,
I agree. That would be a wonderful interview to have with somebody, even if they haven't been abducted. Yeah, would it be better if they abducted or remember something about it? For sure. But we'd love to have an interview with somebody who's had a UFO experience or any paranormal experience for that fact. Uh, even if you don't have proper English.
I tried. I mean, I was trying my best to make it sound good.
Hey, man, that's half the fun is you're just reading how it's written.
Maybe we should take a trip to Hedgesville.
I don't even know where that's at, to be honest with you.
Ah, you know, I don't really know either. Let me look. Hedgesville. Uh, it is in Berkeley County.
So the southern part of the state.
and it's 98 degrees and sunny right now.
That sounds disgusting.
Berkeley Springs. I feel like I've been to Berkeley Springs.
We have in Berkeley Springs. We went there for a wrestling event.
That's right. We did, didn't we?
Oh lordy!
Look who's 40. Sorry, I gotta do that
Apparently,
every time.
I'm not going to watch it right now, but apparently there is a UF sighting video on TikTok from Hedgesville.
Probably the same one.
Maybe.
I'm down. We need to make a trip to Hedgesville.
Yeah.
But
Well, next time you're outside and something you see out in the woods right above the tree line and you start getting holes in your body, remember it's possible, but that's not normal. It's paranormal.
I'm seeing shit that's burned my brain. Won't go away, and I'm pretty sure it's stained. 'Cause it stains, and it's strange. Only feel good in the fall. Cartoons, yeah, they help it subside. Don't wanna think about when we die. It's alright. It's only at night. Only feel good.